Hello students, welcome back to biology classes. So far we studied about the nutrition in human beings and other lower organisms. Today we are going to discuss the next topic is the respiration. So in last class we studied about the nutrition where the complex food material will break down to form the simple food material like glucose, amino acids and fatty acids and all etc. from the carbohydrate, proteins as well as from fats. So you are going to deal with the breakdown of or further breakdown of the glucose in the animal body, that too in the cellular level. So whichever the food material that we intake, it may be a carbohydrate, protein or amino acid, the end product will form in the units like glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and glycerols. So here when you come to the glucose in the cellular level, it undergo further breakdown process to release the energy. So that energy is utilized by the organisms to do its further life processes. So here in the cell, the glucose molecule undergo breakdown process. Okay, this breakdown process is different in different organisms. How? Some organisms use oxygen to break down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water, and some other organisms do not use oxygen or any air to break down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water. So during this process some amount of energy will be released. That energy will be stored in the form of chemical bonds in ATP, that we will discuss further. So as I told you, in the cytoplasm of cell, the glucose divides to form pyruvate. So here glucose is the 6 carbon molecule. And pyruvate is 3 carbon molecule. The breakdown of glucose into pyruvate, which takes place in cytoplasm of the cell. The process of breakdown of glucose into pyruvate is named as glycolysis. This is the only process which takes place in the cytoplasm of each cell where the glucose converts into pyruvate, which means the conversion of 6 carbon molecule into 3 carbon molecule. Here 1 molecule of glucose breakdown produces 2 molecules of pyruvate, or this pyruvate is also called pyruvic acid. When you come to the organisms, some organisms, as I told you, some organisms use oxygen to break the glucose into carbon dioxide and water. Other organisms or different organisms do not use oxygen to convert the glucose into carbon dioxide and water. But in both the cases, the glycolysis process will be same, that takes place in the cytoplasm. So here further pyruvate undergo breakdown process. It produces ethanol plus energy. And in some organisms and in the mitochondria of the cell, the pyruvate divisible or divides or break down to form carbon dioxide plus water, and further it releases energy. And one more point here, whenever the glucose breaks down to form two molecules of pyruvate, it also releases some amount of energy. Understood? Next, whenever the pyruvate in our cell, the breakdown of glucose takes place to form the pyruvate which takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell. Whenever these two pyruvate molecule undergo further breakdown in mitochondria, that produces carbon dioxide, water and energy. Here it produces 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. It produces 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. This pyruvate undergo breakdown, form the carbon dioxide, water and energy. This breakdown process takes place in presence of light. It takes place in presence of oxygen. So as this process, breakdown of pyruvate into carbon dioxide and water, it takes place in the presence of oxygen. This process is called aerobic respiration. This is called aerobic respiration. When you come to the yeast, however, the glucose breaks to form two pyruvate molecules in the cytoplasm. In case of yeast cell, yeast is the unicellular fungi. In case of yeast, the breakdown of pyruvate into ethanol and energy takes place, that too in the absence of oxygen. That takes place in the absence of oxygen. Then this process is called anaerobic respiration. What it is called? Anaerobic respiration. You understood the points? Aerobic respiration, which means the conversion or the breakdown of pyruvate into carbon dioxide and water takes place in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic respiration where the breakdown of pyruvate into ethanol plus it releases energy in absence of air or oxygen, that too takes place in yeast cell. Yeast is the unicellular fungi. So these are the two pathways or respiratory pathways which takes place in the cells. So another product will form, that is lactic acid plus energy. Lactic acid plus energy. And during ethanol, along with the energy, it also produces carbon dioxide. So where it lactic acid produces? During heavy exercises, a woman may feel the muscle cramps. During that time, what happens in human muscle cell? During lack of oxygen, whenever the person trying to do some exercise, after some time his body experiences the loss or lack of oxygen, that is during lack of oxygen, the pyruvate will convert into lactic acid as well as it releases energy. So glucose convert into carbon dioxide and water plus energy in aerobic respiration, and in anaerobic respiration the glucose converts into ethanol plus carbon dioxide. During these processes, the energy will be released. All the three processes releases the energy. The energy released in the aerobic respiration is greater than that of the energy released during the anaerobic respiration. So we will study about this in the higher classes. So as the respiration takes place or cellular respiration takes place, where the glucose converts into the byproducts, it releases the energy. This energy is utilized by the organisms to do its work or to do its activities, further activities. The remaining energy will be stored in the chemical bonds of a chemical compound called ATP. You people might have heard about ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. ATP is a chemical compound. The energy released during the breakdown of glucose is stored in the bonds of adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Whenever the ATP formed where adenosine diphosphate combines with inorganic phosphate, it will produce adenosine triphosphate. This is adenosine diphosphate. Okay. So this requires energy. Whenever the adenosine diphosphate combines with the inorganic phosphate, it forms ATP by using the energy which is released by the glycolysis process or the aerobic or anaerobic respiration. So ATP we people commonly called energy currency of, this is commonly called energy currency of cell, because all the energy released during the cellular respiration will be stored in the bonds of ATP. So it is called energy currency of cell. Whenever you people try to break down or remove the phosphate, here in the ATP 3 phosphate molecule will be present, as the name itself indicating triphosphate. If the terminal phosphate group is removed from the ATP by hydrolysis process, hydrolysis is nothing but breakdown of the bond using water. Hydra means water. The breakdown of the bond between the phosphate group is called hydrolysis, where it produces ADP, again one inorganic phosphate. So the energy released during this hydrolysis process will be 30.5 kilojoules per mole of the glucose or mole of the ATP. So this is the amount of energy released during the breakdown of ATP. So this energy released by the hydrolysis process of ATP, this energy is utilized by the organism to do its different life activities. It may use for a nerve impulse conduction, and it may use for further processes like movement and muscular movements, and for different life activities this energy is utilized. And one more point here is ATP is the energy currency of cell. So this energy currency of a cell is utilized by the cells for its endothermic reactions. ATP is utilized for endothermic reactions. You might have studied about the endothermic reactions in your chemistry part. Endothermic reactions are nothing but these are the chemical reactions. During these reactions, what happens? The reactants of the reaction utilizes the surrounding heat energy to form the products is called endothermic reaction. Write down your own definition for endothermic reactions. So further, as I mentioned, aerobic respiration pathway utilizes the oxygen to convert the pyruvic acid into carbon dioxide and water. So as these aerobic respiration requires the oxygen, aerobic animals needs more oxygen to ensure their energy production. So when you come to the plants, we people already studied the plant surface. It's a leaf surface. Both the upper and lower epidermis have small pores, tiny pores that we call stomata. Through the stomata, the exchange of gases takes place. The exchange of gases takes place. What are the gases which involved in the exchange process? This is the guard cell. So through this stomatal pore, the exchange of gas will be takes place. Oxygen, and this is carbon dioxide. So in case of plants, the major exchange of gases takes place through the stomata which are present in the leaf surface of the plants. How the exchange of gases takes place? Exactly through the diffusion process. Through the diffusion. Diffusion is nothing but the process of movement of molecules or ions from the region of its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration is called diffusion. Diffusion is the process of movement of molecules, any molecules or ions from the region of higher concentration to the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, to the region of lower concentration is called diffusion process. Through the diffusion process, the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place in the plants. So this exchange of carbon dioxide and the oxygen in case of plants depends on the environmental conditions as well as it depends on the plant needs. So during night time there will be no photosynthesis. During that time what will happen? More production of carbon dioxide takes place during night. And during daytime, as the photosynthesis process takes place during the daytime, it requires more carbon dioxide to synthesize the food and it releases the oxygen. In night time, what happens? The production of carbon dioxide more. the production of CO2 will be more. Why? Because there is no photosynthesis takes place. As the photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide, during daytime photosynthesis absent, so the accumulation of carbon dioxide molecule in the plant body will be more. And during daytime what happens? As the photosynthesis takes place during the daytime, the production of carbon dioxide will be less, because the carbon dioxide is involved in the process of photosynthesis. The production of O2 is more. So I told you people, the requirement of the exchange of gases like O2 and carbon dioxide depends on the environmental condition as well as the plant needs. During daytime carbon dioxide production will be more, and during daytime oxygen. Understood? And in the next class we will deal with the different types of organisms and how their respiratory structures will be present in their body to meet their oxygen requirement. Thank you.